Hello and welcome to my podcast. I'm a knitting pattern designer based in the Midlands in the UK, and this is my podcast mostly about my knitting practice, both my own personal knitting and any designs that I'm working on or just have designs coming out. I will start with what I'm wearing because I always forget to talk about this. This is the Marius Kofta. I knitted this to take part in a knit along run by Arctic Knitting in 2019. It was a Marius knit along, and the prize for this knit along was the pattern book that my first or my only finished objects is in. So I will show you that in a bit. The yarn for this, it's a bit bobbly because I wear it so much, is a Blueface Leicester DK yarn that I dyed with green walnuts in their shells. I put them into water for 24 hours, boiled them up, it smelled atrocious, strained it, put the yarn in, and it made this really pretty colour. It's faded a bit since I first made it, but I wear it an awful lot, so it's holding up really well. The white is the undyed of this Blueface Leicester DK. I think it was Laxton's, but I'm not sure. And the orange is a commercial yarn, and I can't remember where that's from. So I'll put a picture up of the of this finished, so you can get a better idea of the actual design, because I can't stand up here without knocking the tripod over and what have you. It's been quite difficult to find anywhere with enough light to film today, and this is the fourth attempt. So if you see this was as good as it got. I will show you I keep saying my first finished object. It's my only finished object. I'm so very pleased. It's slightly damp. I've just taken one of them off the mitten blocker because I've already shown it 3 times and it couldn't really be seen. So these are a pair of Norwegian mittens, and the prize for this knit along I showed last week. It was a book with lots and lots of Norwegian mitten patterns and socks and hats and headbands and what have you. And this is, I'll link it below, but this is design 2 from that book. There you go. They're really lovely. They're slightly too big for me because I knit the man's size, and I think I should probably have knit the woman's size. So they've got a bit of excess in the top, and the main thing that's too long is the thumb. I've got quite short thumbs. So this is the palm pattern. This pattern is so mindless to knit. It's lovely. And it's got a pretty snowflakes on the thumb. The wool for this, the base for this is actually the same as this. And I think, as I say, I think it's Blueface Leicester from Laxton's. It might be the Roving, but I'm not sure. I gradient dyed this, so I gradient dyed it from this through to this. And if I show you one of the balls I've used, you can see the middle is still this browny colour, but the outside is a speckled cream colour. And the orange is Diggle DK from Woolyknit. I think it's 97% British yarn and 3% silk neps. It's ever so lovely. Really nice. It comes in all sorts of colours. So those are my mittens. I had hoped I'd have enough yarn left over to make a second pair, but I haven't got enough. I've got about 19 grams of this, and I can't remember this, but it's less than half the ball left. I think I might have enough to knit a pair of child's mittens to match these ones. The pattern book this comes in, each mitten pattern has 5 sizes from 3 through to adult man's. So I'll probably knit one of the, probably the second or third size. So my little peeps have a pair of mittens that match mummies. At the moment they're still young enough to enjoy that, but I know that it won't last for much longer, so I'm making the most of it. For a drink, I'm quite thirsty today. This is pucker piece. It was warm when I first made it, but having tried so many times to film this podcast and having to move all the apparatus around, it's got quite chilly, which is a shame. It's a cold and grey day today, and I've just come. Well, I had just come back from dog walking, and I could have really done with a nice warm cup of tea. But hey ho, on to works in progress. So as I mentioned last week, I'm knitting a jumper that I'm calling my Christmas jumper. It's not particularly Christmassy, but it is. The design of it is inspired by iced gingerbread hearts. That's about as Christmassy a jumper as I'm likely to wear. So I mentioned last week I want to get it finished by the 3rd of December, which is a week today. I hadn't thought at the time, but to be able to wear it on the 3rd, it needs to be washed and dried and blocked and ends woven in, and that's all backwards, but you know what I mean. By the 2nd, so I can put it on the morning of the 3rd and walk out the door. So that actually only gives me a couple more days to work on this, so I think it's possible, but I'll show you where I've got to. Like last week, I finished the body up to the armpits. I have got 2 arms. They're not arms, are they? They're sleeves. Whenever I'm whenever I'm designing a knitting pattern for a jumper or a cardigan, it's a 50-50 chance I will call the arms the sleeves the arms. I'll call the sleeves the arms, and the tech editor always has to change it. I feel such an idiot, but I've got a complete mental blank about it. So 2 arms. So I've got everything done up to the armpits. All I have to do now is knit the yoke, which I think is doable. I've worked on the charts. The charts are all ready to go. The pattern is designed. I've got all the numbers done and what have you, across all the sizes. So it is just a case of knitting it. But it's quite a big jump. It depends if anything crops up, really, I think. The main contrast colour is this cream, and with a tiny pop of this, well, there we are, that's a better colour, that shows it quite nicely, with this beautiful winey red colour. There's a small pop, and this is going to be situated further up the yoke, so it hopefully will draw more attention to the face, and draw it upwards. This yarn is Woolyknit's 4-ply British wool, on a cone. It's really, really well priced for the quality that it is. It's 18, or when I bought it, it was £18 for a 500 gram cone like this. This is 125 grams. I can't remember how much this was. I think it was £7 or possibly £5. Might have been the sale for £5. That's the wrong colour again. See? Bright red. Hope you'll see the difference. You won't just see me wafting cones merrily about. Anyway, yep. So that's my idea. So today's Friday. Really, to be able to get it finished, I probably need to have finished it by Monday night. That should be doable with the weekend. We've not got a huge amount of plans. The weather here looks absolutely grim for the weekend, so we probably won't be going out and doing anything other than dog walking, and I'm sure the dog won't be very keen. Poor little chap. So hopefully that'll be done. You will see next week if it was done or not. I hope it is. Um, yeah, I said last week, but I'll repeat this week. On Friday the 3rd, I'm a I'm the chair of the PTFA in my children's first school, and all next week is our Christmas events. We can't have a Christmas fair this year, because of the current situation with cases. Um, so we're so we're doing a raffle and a Christmas jumper sale. And Friday will be the finish of it all. So it would feel really appropriate, to wear a Christmas jumper and be all festive. The last month or the last few weeks in school in the UK before Christmas, even in the middle of a pandemic, are always quite Christmassy and full on, and really uh, quite over the top. So yeah, we're definitely getting into the festive mood now. Although I still have an awful lot of presents to buy. We've been having headlines for the past few weeks saying, "Oh, buy your presents early, buy your presents early," and I'm one of those people who hate being told what to do. So while by now I would normally have almost all our presents sorted, I'm really behind this year. So yeah, we'll see how that goes as well. I'll try not to moan if it doesn't go well. My plans anyway. That that's enough waffling about that. My plans for next week. My plans for next week. There is a new design. Well, there's a design I'm working on now that I can't show you. So I'll come and working with that. I still won't be able to show you. There's a new design that I'd like to get started. I need to do a fair bit of swatching for that because it involves different stitch patterns. So I will probably only get as far as swatching, and if the swatching goes well, then the number crunching next week. I probably won't get a chance to cast on. And then I hope to get the children's mittens knitted. So that'll be nice. I'd also like to work on a mitten pattern and a hat pattern that goes with the yoke of the Christmas jumper with the hearts and the. Did I tell you it's based on ice gingerbread? I'm not sure if I did. Anyway, if I didn't tell you, this jumper, the yoke comprises of mostly hearts and a few other little motifs, and it's based on ice gingerbread. Yeah, so I'm hoping to have a hat and mittens with a similar motif. Um, not to wear all at the same time, but to have a small collection. The mittens, I really like these Norwegian mittens, but I find I'm not a great fan of. If it wasn't for the beautiful designs, I probably wouldn't knit them because I don't find the thumb extremely ergonomic. I know lots of people say that it's really good because your hand sits in front of your palm. My hand doesn't naturally sit in front of my palm. I've got extremely flat hands. I don't know if it's because I played the piano for years and years and years and years, so stretching across the across the octaves has really made my hands stretch, or whether it's just a variant of normal. I would always have had flat hands. It's better than flat feet anyway. So I don't know. So the pattern that I want to do for the mittens and hat, I want to be sort of that sort of shape, which probably means I have to get new mitten blockers because these are beautiful. But they are the Norwegian shape, with you put the thumb there. And I got these. It was from somewhere, Woolyknit. I got it on, and I got them on Etsy. And I don't, and I've got sock blockers and buy them too, and they're beautiful as well. But I haven't looked to see whether it's possible to get them now, after Brexit. So we'll have to see. Otherwise, I'll have to resort to cardboard mitten blockers, which isn't so nice, where you can have really beautiful things like this. We will see. Yes, that's my plan for next week. I probably won't get all of it done. I almost never get all of it done. If only my hands and my body would keep up with where my brain is going. But they don't, which is probably as well. So that's it. I hope you're well, and I will see you next week, and you'll see whether the jumper got finished or not. I hope it does. Fingers crossed. Take care. Bye.